We're going to do some essential tasks for, you know, the first time you get a home. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to look out for? And all of that. And joining us in studio is the Head of Management Services, Brickstone Properties Limited, Gifty Aite. Gifty, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look good.
Thank you.
Wow. All right, so we have a home. Jude and I have bought a home, or Jude has bought a home. Well, what should be the first thing that he thinks of? We're going to do a friendship bracelet.
Yeah, but friendship bracelet, they are buying houses.
But we can live in an apartment. I'll live at the top, you live at the bottom.
No problem. That's perfectly fine.
So you bought a home. What should be the first thing that should come to mind?
Basically, knowing the home that you've bought, knowing where, what is, and what to do when anything at all happens. That is the basic things that you're supposed to know when you buy a new home.
Okay. When you say knowing where what is, or what should I know?
Something like electric, or say things that work with electricity. If the light goes off, or if there's a trip in the power, sometimes there's a flip that goes up in the fuse box. Yes, so if you know where that is, how to turn that on, how to turn that off, when that goes on, when that goes off, it will help you. It'll be better to know that yourself than to call someone from outside to help you do that. So basic things like that.
Okay, okay. And then it says understanding your home layout and maintenance. So you've spoken about the fuse box. What else should I know about home maintenance?
Something like, how do you call that? Your washrooms, I'm so sorry.
So basically, you're saying that before you set out to design your space, you should have a fair idea of where everything is placed, right? So
basically.
Exactly. Every kind of toolkit you need in your garage, for example.
Basically, yes.
Where your washroom is, what's in the washroom, your kitchen area, what's in your kitchen. I've seen people, for example, build their homes, set it up nicely, and they have like, as a result of like space constraints, right? So they have certain things in certain places in the open. So for example, you see their washing machine somewhere in the living area. Will you say it's an advisable practice?
Well, technically, it depends on the kind of space that you have and the kind of washing machine you have as well. It could be aesthetically pleasing to have it at that area. So if it works for you, that's fine. If it doesn't work for you too, you can always find a place in the kitchen or the washroom to keep it at. Yes.
Interesting. So for you, in the line of work that you do, helping people plan their space, helping people design their space, will you say it's efficiency over aesthetics or aesthetics over efficiency? And this in a follow-up to your question about having an aesthetically pleasing place to put some of your stuff. So which is it? Is it efficiency over aesthetics, or it should be the other way around for you?
I believe it should be efficiency over aesthetics. But the aesthetics matter as well. I mean, I live alone, and as a woman, aesthetics is important to me. But the house must be efficient and work for me before the aesthetics. So yeah, that is how it should work.
Interesting. You go into some people's home and you see like some really wild and impressive color coordinating, right? So like the carpet is a certain color, the blinds is complementing the carpet, the TV stand is complementing the table, the center table. Like, talk to us about like what goes into like stuff like that. Why do even people want to do it in the first place?
Okay, so before I answer that, as you stated earlier, I work with Brickstone Properties Limited, and what we do is to build new homes. Yeah. That's like the main thing that we do. We build new homes. We help you with renovations and rentals sometimes for clients and house owners. So what was the question again?
Basically, people who opt for like some level of color coordinating, they want specific color themes in specific areas. Why do people do that? Do you come across that in the line of your work, and why do people opt for those kinds of aesthetically pleasing options?
Okay. Currently, in our current world, everybody wants anything at all to look nice, to look pleasing for people that walk into their homes, to make them feel comfortable and to make them want to come again. I believe having your home looking and feeling welcoming is the reason why people want their houses to look aesthetically pleasing, basically. Yes, that's it.
Okay, so if we're budgeting and financing for home ownership, what should go into that thought?
Okay, I think with budgeting and finance, you should leave that to the experts, which is us.
Yeah.
Brickstone Properties. We would do everything. We would have a layout and a plan, speak to you about it, ask what you'd prefer to have in your house and what you would not prefer to have in your house, work together, come out with a plan, and build it up for you in the end.
Okay, so you sit with a person and then you decide how the house, three rooms, two rooms.
2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 1 bedroom. We can do that for you. And you don't necessarily have to be physically present. Okay. We have clients that are outside the country that just want their homes built here.
Hassle-free.
So we just, yes,
without
and we do that for you.
And all of that.
Not at all. We handle and cater all of that.
Wow. I like the way you are flowing the conversation, right? So from talking about how people want their inner space planned up until helping them plan and even moving in and all of that. But you earlier mentioned that people stay alone, right? Maybe they don't have any partners, they are not married yet. How is important is security, right? To making sure that you factor it in your planning for your home. Where do you place security in trying to plan a space or moving into a space?
Security is actually very important and is one of the essential tasks as a first homeowner. I recently just moved into my apartment, so this actually
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Security is important because right now, people don't want to work hard to get their money. They just want to get it for free. That is, I'm talking about thieves. So it's good to have CCTV cameras, pepper spray, basically anything that can protect you and your home. I remember the first day I moved in, I could not sleep. I woke up about 7 times in the night thinking someone was going to break into my home to steal my phone or my laptop. Apart from the cameras, you need to check your windows, your doors, make sure your doors are properly locked. There are doors that have 2 types of locks, the key and then the switch. And with the windows too, there's the burglar proof and then there's the sliding windows. You have to make sure that it actually locks when you close it. That is for the sliding windows, basically, yes. And so for the doors and the windows and the CCTV, I feel like if you work around that and your main gate, if you work around that, you should be secure in your home.
Let's talk about the alarm systems. Are the alarm systems connected to, let's say, if someone breaks into, maybe to the police, so that it alerts them, or to the security within that area, so that it alerts them when someone, breaks into your home?
I believe there's something like that, but for now, everybody goes for the basic one, which is, and what I would advise is to go for the cameras that are connected to your phones. That when you're not home, you set up the password, and whenever anyone tries to break into your home, you get an alert on your phone. Okay, so after you see, it might be someone you know. So if it's not anyone you know, you make a call to the police, and hopefully they get there on time to save you and your home.
Hopefully they get there on time.
Yeah, because Charlie, we know that we've had the stories, we've had the experiences. But wow, so I like the way you've spoken about windows, you've spoken about doors, you've spoken about making sure that the security is properly put in place. You've touched on cameras. I'll come to you back on cameras again, whether they are a specific type of cameras that you need, except the ones, aside the ones that you can check on your phone. But you also talk about building good relationships with neighbors.
Yes.
But if I live in a place where I'm literally alone.
Well, how many people live alone or in the forest? I believe even if you live in the forest, you'd have
somebody around
a neighbor. Yes. So, but no matter where you are, if you don't have neighbors, you definitely have dogs or animals that protect
or
you.
Or pets around. Yeah, yes. But how important is it to have like a healthy relationship with like your tenant, co-tenant, or just next door neighbor?
It's very, very crucially important. It almost comes before your CCTV cameras, because you're not always at home, but your neighbors might be. Take for instance, there are certain places that the tap doesn't flow all the time, so people leave their poly tanks on and the taps so that it fills when the Ghana water decides to bring you water. So imagine if you've left it, you've gone to work, but your neighbor is around, and then we hear the water falling. It's not raining. If you have a good relationship with your neighbor, you definitely have their contact. They would reach out to you and go like, hey, your poly tank is overflowing. What would you want me to do? Do you want me to go in, turn it off? Where's the switch? It makes it easier. It would be better to have a good relationship with your neighbors to see to it that certain things like water flowing, unknown people come into your home, and things are sorted by them than when you're not around. Yes.
Wow, interesting. We'll come back to you so you tell us a little bit more about what you do at Brickstone Properties Limited. I'm sure our viewers are interested. Like, what do they really do? So we'll let you do a lot of that. But just talk to us about the non-negotiable. I like to use that word a lot, right? What will you say, like, you can't compromise on first-time owner? So, like, you having moved into your new place, what will you say? Let me put you on the spot to say maybe are your top 5 most important things you have to look out for.
Okay. The first one would be documents. Documents and receipts. As a first-time house owner, you have to make sure your papers are in check and on point. And you have to know, the second one would be, literally follows to the second one, knowing the legalities when it comes to owning a home. So like tenancy agreements, property tax, home insurance, artisan receipts. Any work that is done on your home, I believe you're supposed to keep those receipts, keep the dates that those maintenances were done to help you track whatever has been done and how soon and how often you need to check on those things. When it comes to the home insurance, I believe that one is more important, that and the property tax. And the third one would be your finances, budgeting for your home. It's very important to keep that in mind because as a first-time homeowner, you most of the times don't know what exactly to spend on when you move. True. Like me, right now, I'm battling between decorating my home and food. Because food is very important to me and I like to cook a lot. But so is a nice aesthetics, pleasing space. Because of that, I decided not to have as many visitors right now. I'm waiting to get things in place before you start making the housewarming. Wow. Interesting. So, I believe you should decide on the number of things to spend your money on. There are some people that take loans to build their homes. So you have to budget and know how much of your money you're going to spend on paying out the loans per month, per year, and then the rest you can use to, like me, decorate your home. Well, do you advise for mortgages, just because of the loan thing you mentioned? Yes, actually, I would advise for that because the prices of things keep dollars and that's too. Well, CDs, because the dollar keep going up, fluctuating, so you don't know. Let's say CDs. Yes, for CDs. I believe that you go, for a CD mortgage and then pay as and when you can. You will definitely finish paying it, but as for you know our pockets. Oh, you will. I'm sure before you went in, you made a breakdown of how you're going to come up with the money to pay and the time they're going to pay. So right behind you on the screen, the screen right behind you, well, you can see it right here. Can you talk to us about sort of budgeting, really? I see a lot of figures and percentages here, but I'm not really sure. And in doing so, just tell us what the most important is for our viewers. Okay, so as you can see, the highest is for the housing, and that includes the mortgage, the rent, the HOA fees, the taxes, and etc. And like I said, it's good to know where most of your money or your finances is going to. And since mortgage is basically the most expensive thing right now, which is equal to the house, that is where most of your money would go to. The second is insurance, your health, medical, auto, and life. I'm sure we all have health insurance, one way or the other. So most of your money will go there.
Our company is so gracious.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
And the third should go into groceries and restaurants, which is food. That is more important for me than savings because I need to eat, and I believe everybody needs to eat to maintain the home. The next is savings. Savings is actually important as well because for unforeseen circumstances with the home and even with yourself, sometimes the insurance might not be able to cover for everything that you go to the hospital for. So your savings can cover for that and for any maintenance that you need in the home. The one that follows is transportation. I don't think everyone works from home. I work from home most of the time, but you definitely step out. So a part or a portion of your money.
Probably have to pass through the office.
Definitely.
And even personal, like rounds and all of that.
As well. So that will cover for that. And then the personal, like clothing, haircuts, home decor, and hobbies, like going to the restaurants. You'd want to go and see a movie outside your home one or two times or hang out with friends. So that would also take a little portion of your money. And then recreation, travel, entertainment, lifestyle, and expenses. And last but not the least, utilities, your cell phone, data, your gas, electricity, water, and internet. Those ones don't take much, but it's also very important to factor those in. And giving, it is said in the Bible that no matter what you give, please give 10% to the Lord to thank Him for your life.
Oh, so you're a tither?
Yes, I am. Sometimes. I am sure my pastor would watch this and come for me. But yes,
sometimes.
I like that. You're being honest sometimes. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's stay with the utilities for a bit. 5 to 10%, cell phone, gas, ECG, all of that. How do we make sure that we're saving energy? Because, electricity is expensive and it keeps rising as well. So how do we ensure that we're saving energy? What bulbs should we be using, or what way can we save? Okay,
that's a great question. Before buying any electrical gadgets, there are a number of stars on them that shows you the energy saving capacity that they have. The more stars they have, the more energy saving it is. It is more expensive, but it's better to buy something that is expensive that will save energy and your money than to buy something that has less stars. So you can ask whoever you're going to buy from, or if you're going to buy yourself, just ask for any gadgets that has more stars. The more the stars, the more energy efficient they are, and the longer they would last for you. It goes for fridges, TVs, and even light bulbs. It's the same thing for all electrical gadgets.
More stars, more energy is saving.
Yes.
And I love greenery around the homes. There's a home here recently. They used to have lots of trees. I passed by recently. They cut it all down. I'm like, what? They've cut it all down. So, investing in landscape, because landscape doesn't come cheap.
At all.
At all.
It's very, very important to have that as well. I mean, it helps with to give you a breath of fresh air. The trees give oxygen.
Yes.
And so it's good to have them around. And also, it is aesthetically pleasing. And anybody would like to come to your home to visit you just to have that calmness or to take pictures for their social media because your home gives that. So that's also important.
Wow, interesting. So I like the way you've sort of did a breakdown on this for us. So the point is that if you are doing more than 10 to 15% of your money on, let's say, transportation, then you're headed for trouble.
Yes. Yes, you are. But like I said, for someone like me, I hardly step out. So if more of your money is going into, say, recreation, I'm guessing the transportation, the percentage for transportation will definitely be less, and it's going to factor into it. But everybody should know their limits and their stopping points. That you should know that I'm spending too much on this.
So you can use others to balance other areas. Interesting. Because I'm looking at this and I'm trying to put myself into where and see where I fall short or where I'm overdoing or underspending. It looks like I'm going overboard for a lot of them. But that's just me. That's just me. Wow. Because data alone.
Yes.
I mean, I come to the office and I use office Wi-Fi. But like,
hello.
I use office Wi-Fi, so that's helping me. But I still look at my data I consume when I'm at home. It's incredible. Definitely more than the is it the 10% over there? Yeah. So it's interesting, and I think it's important that viewers pay attention to this. This will help us all really manage our finances better, manage our space better, and I think these are the really important things that we need to really highlight a lot. And it's great that we're having you do this for us. But just talk to us a little bit more on the need for. I mean, Eno has already talked about making sure the landscape is fine. I know there's the bylaw that talks about leaving space for like grass.
No, it doesn't work.
But we don't even do it again. I see people cut down trees like NOC, and also I see people now tiling everywhere in their homes, right? So like the kitchen is all tiled up from like the floor to the walls to the sink, the tiles. You go outside, tiles, bedroom, tiles, back door, tiles. Every single space is tiled up, and you're wondering what's really happening. Is it okay? Or people do this for other reasons we are not too sure of?
I would also place that under aesthetics. I believe nobody wants to have cemented floors on their compound anymore. Everybody would want to have tiles. It's easier to clean tiles than to clean cemented floors and terrazzos. So people would go for that. But it's also important to have greenery at your home. It's apart from the fact that it helps you, it helps nature as well and the ecosystem.
True.
So I believe it's good to have greenery at your home.
So finally, just talk to us about what you do. I'm sure our viewers are interested. They want to find out. Like she's spoken a lot, and it looks like you have information on a lot of things, from energy conservation to planning your space to your landscape and all of that. What do you really do at Brick House Property Limited?
Okay. So at Brickstone
Brickstone. Yeah.
At Brickstone Properties Limited, we build homes, as I said earlier, for new homeowners, both in the country and abroad. We also help with the renovations of homes. You would want to break down your home and build a new one, we are here for you. You'd want us to manage your home when you're not around, we're here for you. Do you want us to get you properties to rent or buy? We're here for you. We also handle project management. So we're here for you for that as well. If there's any information that you need, I am sure you can put our number in our email, which is info@Brickstone Properties Limited. You can reach out to us, and we will get back to you with.
A viewer has a question, right? And I'm sure you two I travel along the Nana Krom area a lot, and I see a lot of these nice buildings springing up, but the occupancy is almost zero. But a question from our viewer says, "Good morning, really enjoying the show, Gifty. Which is better, to build or to purchase an already built home?" I hope we didn't put you on the spot.
No, not necessarily. To be honest, it depends on you. I believe, for me, I would choose to build because an already built home might not be up to what you want. Yes, you might want a 2-bedroom, but you might want 2 washrooms or 3 washrooms or a bigger kitchen. So it would be better to build your home from scratch than to purchase an already built home. Even though building your home is a little bit on the expensive side, and more tedious, like you're saying, it's better to have that so that it will work with what you have or the vision you have for your future home, since you're going to be there for a longer period of time.
Wow. And finally on this, I know Eno has a final question as well. But in line of your work, right, what would you say are the reasons why we see a lot of buildings springing up, nice ones, go to Cantonment, go to East Airport, go to Airport Hills, but for some reason, they're almost always empty. And we see Airbnb, but not actual people living there. Why is it so?
I believe it all has to do with finances and money. Take Brickstone, for instance. Someone would ask, what are the rates for your buildings or your properties? My boss will tell you, it depends. You can't expect a 3-bedroom at East Legon to be the same price as a 3-bedroom at
Kaneshi.
Amasaman or Kaneshi. Yes, exactly. So buildings.
I'm not sure Amasama residents are
Well, now
okay,
they are developing, so I believe they are also getting on the more expensive side.
Yeah.
But yes, it depends on where the building is at to see how expensive it is. And for, like you said, in places like cantonments, it's more of Airbnb than residential areas because it's
cantonment.
It's cantonments, it's airports. How many people can afford to live there? They might want to live there to experience it, so they would book an Airbnb, live there, show the world that I've been here, I've been at cantonments for a while. But then their actual homes would be at places like Kaswa and Amasaman. So,
or Kuntuse. Kuntuse.
They're coming for the two of you.
Kuntuse.
I'm not part of this. I'm not part of this. But Gipsy, this has been very enlightening. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been very enlightening. They're coming for the two of you.
I mean, I asked somebody where you stay. I just said Kuntuse. And the person was expecting me to come and say, oh no. Okay. And the one that kills me is Domiabra. You understand what it means?
Yeah.
If you
love me, come.
Anyway, Gipsy, so grateful that you could join us. It was really lovely talking to you, having you share perspective into an area that I don't think a lot of people pay attention to, right? So we are so grateful for that. If you missed any part of this, you could go on to the ChannelOne YouTube page. All of the video, all of everything she said will be up there for your viewing pleasure. We'll take a quick break.